Thanks for joining us on Inverclyde TV. First thing I wanted to ask you was how you got the roles in Torchwood.
It's the usual route, really. Agents submit you for a job, and you go along to the audition. But it was a long old process, really, with the Torchwood, because I'd heard that they were doing this new series in Cardiff. And they were seeing pretty much every Welsh actor and actress under the sun for this, so I was kind of desperate to get seen for it. And I'd heard that it was a spin-off of Doctor Who, and obviously Russell had just brought back the franchise with Chris Eccleston and Billy. So it was I was just really keen to be seen for it, and get in, because a new series set in Wales with Welsh people, it's a no-brainer really for a Welsh actor. And luckily then I got a general meeting with Andy Pryor, and I went in to read some scenes. And then he brought me in a few weeks later to read some scripts with a director and a producer. The director was Brian Kelly, a Scotch guy actually, who directed the first episode, and producer Sophie Fanta. And and then about 2 weeks later they offered me the role of Rhys.
Excellent. Gareth?
I was quite lucky in the sense that I'd already worked for Russell in Mine or Mine, so he knew of me. So I think I was lucky enough to get in the sort of the second or third stage of auditioning. But I thought I tried really hard. I thought I hadn't got it because 3 weeks had gone by, and I was just about to jump on the train to do an audition for a Noel Coward play in North Wales. And just as I was going to step on the train, I got a phone call saying I'd got the job. The character was originally called Idris Hopper. That was the character that I went for. And as a nod to the work that I'd done for Russell before, he gave me my name back, Yanto Jones, which is my name in Mine or Mine. He sort of did that because that storyline got cut from the televised versions. So it's
lovely.
As a little nod to that, he gave me the name back.
Yeah. And are you taking it that it's the same character that exists in both?
No, I didn't have a huge amount to do in Mine or Mine. I think at the time it was a record pause length. There was a record length pause at an awkward silence on an awkward date, and so there wasn't much material there to sort of draw on for the new Yanto. So I keep them separate. And I think that Yanto was spelled with a J as well.
Oh right, okay, well there you go. It could be his brother.
Yeah.
What did you think when you seen the scripts, knowing it was going to be a spin-off of Doctor Who? Did you know how far the show was going to go, or did you think it was going to be more PG? Did they have like a plan? Did they tell you ahead of time, or was it you got the scripts and you're like, we're doing what?
We knew it was going to be more direct towards young adults. We knew that was in the press previous. So we knew it was going to be more adult than Doctor Who, but it was a brand new show and a spin-off from something that's a British institution, Doctor Who. So it was quite nerve-wracking because to do a spin-off of Doctor Who, to build a new fan base and to keep the Doctor Who fans happy was a tall order.
And the word spin-off don't sit well sometimes, do they? Because not many spin-offs work really. Yeah. Fraser, I can think of the top of my head. You know what I mean? But some of them, Torchwood has worked. Torchwood stands very much on its own now. Yeah. But I think with a bit of intrepidation, you go spin-off. But then again, it was Russell T Davies. You know what I mean? So you've got to go. This man's a genius. This man's a legend. This man's amazing. This man's at the top of his game. And there was a gap in there. There was a gap for a program like Torchwood. Yeah, So, I as far as I was aware, I thought I was only going to be in like 5 or 6 episodes anyway. So I didn't really know how far it was going to go. I was pretty certain it was going to be a success. BBC Three, cool channel to be on. Launch it on that in Cardiff. Great lead cast. Russell at the helm. I thought it's sexy, it's great, adult, and it will get its cult following. But I didn't know how long it would run for. I didn't know. I couldn't, in my wildest dreams, think that we'd still be here now in Comic Cons in Glasgow. You know what I mean? And thousands of people here. So that side of things didn't have a clue. But I had a funny feeling it was going to be good because of the idea and Russ and the cast that they cast was, at the first read through, you saw Gaz, Byrne, Naoko, John and Eve. Was like, oh yeah, these are solid and a great team. So and it was funny, it was charming, it was sexy, and it was like nothing before.
Yeah, it definitely filled a void.
There's still nothing like it on TV.
Yeah, I was just about to say there's nothing like it. Why do you think that is? Why do you think no one else is taking the chance with a kind of like a sexy show aimed at that audience?
Well, I think people have sort of tried and failed. I mean, I think and this is one of I think Russell's genius. A lot of it lies in the way he can sort of put comedy and tragedy, sci-fi and realism, the way he mixes them and gets the tone just right, because there's difficult things to mix, and if you get it slightly off, if it's slightly unbalanced, then shows tend not to work. I mean, I'm not going to mention any shows, that's not fair.
But there's an extraordinary world in Torchwood, and then there is the ordinary world in Torchwood, and they just seamlessly sort of mix together great. You've got relationships, you've got domestic stuff, but you also got this crazy world of aliens and a man who can't die, but still there's at its centre is heart and truth and touching moments, comedy, real
people with human flaws. I think that's what it was. The extraordinary things happening to ordinary people, and these people, they
in an ordinary city in Cardiff, in Wales.
None of them are perfect. They make mistakes, and I think to get that balance right is quite a tall order. But that's one of Russell's talents.
Not set on a planet anywhere, not set in a futuristic world on St Mary's Street in Cardiff. People going about their day, people going to Primark, people going to Greggs, people doing this and all that, and then you get these two, this team going, that person over there is a shapeshifter. Nobody know, but only Torchwood know. And going to get it. But while Cardiff is still going on around it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's obviously where your
that was a good idea, wasn't it?
That's where your character obviously.
God, it was a good idea. Yeah.
At first, you're presented as the kind of the everyman. You're
of course.
The audience's avatar through the show.
Yeah.
And obviously, you make it right through to the end, which is very. It's very strange for a show like Torchwood.
I was going to be killed off in series 1.
Were you really?
Yeah. I think that was their plan. I think Rhys was going to go. I think because he's a killable character and it worked really well for Gwen and everything, but they decided to keep him alive, and because then again it works well for Gwen that he's alive, but it does also work well for Gwen if Rhys dies as well. But I think they made a decision just to keep Gwen and Rhys together as
he sort of became her anchor to the real world.
It was exactly it worked then. What we were just talking about, Jack, extraordinary human to Rhys, just normal Welsh bloke. Yeah. So again, it just showed that quite plainly, didn't it, and simply. But it was great fun. Still nothing like it on TV now.
Talking about Jack, what is it like actually working with John? Because
horrible.
I've heard Stephen.
Can we just go off camera for a second? Yeah. It's a nightmare.
I've heard Stephen Amell saying the exact same thing, that he's always bugging and stealing the scenes and trying to put people off and breaking into dance impromptu. What is he really like though? Is he?
I mean, when you're working sort of between 12 and 15 hours, we get tired. Well, everyone except for John. He's great.
So mad.
He was a great sort of patriarch, sort of team leader for the group, because when all our sort of when our energy was low and people started to get tired and withdrawn because the shoot was ticking on, he'd lift everyone's spirits. Yeah. So he was great like that, and you need someone like John to do that on set. I think when they're taking ages setting something up and people are in their chairs and they're getting low on energy, eating bananas, and he's there sort of to entertain and to get the energy back up. He
describes him as a medicine. I've heard her say that. He would really pick you up. He's a fantastic leading man. He leads by example, and he makes the atmosphere great, and he's generous. And as much as we joke about him in these things, I'm very, very, very fond of him. He's a top man and a great leading man as well. And he's so generous, and he loves his fans. He loves this world that we're all involved in more than anything. And top man, can't speak high enough of him, really.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much for your time. That's
Thank you.
Time for today.
Thank you very much.
Gareth, Kai, thanks for joining us on Inverclyde
No
TV.
problem, mate.
No problem.
Cheers.
Thank you.